The antiderivative of 2x, you could say that that's the same as saying what's the integral. Is what? Because the derivative of that something has to get me 2x. Any ideas? Got to think backwards. Yeah, you guys, do you guys agree the derivative of x squared is 2x? Bring that squared out front, right? So this is going to be tough sometimes, but I'm going to show you a trick. Antiderivative of cosine, or another way of saying it, what's the integral of cosine? Meaning, whose derivative is cosine? Oh, yeah, which one is it? The derivative of what is cosine? Good old sine, exactly. I know those negatives are tough. So the integral of cosine is sine. And how I like to think about it is I don't memorize that. I just think whose derivative is cosine? Boom, it's sine. What's the antiderivative of cosine? Whose derivative is cosine? Okay, antiderivative of 1 over x. Whose derivative is 1 over x? Yes, ln. Boom. Was that a blast from the past? Okay. Again, this is just another way to say antiderivative. What's the integral? Whose derivative is secant squared? Don't look behind me. Yes, the derivative of tangent is secant squared. But what if I said plus 7? You don't have to write your plus 7. Is this derivative still secant squared? The derivative of tangent is secant squared. What's the derivative of 7? 0. So check this out. Check this out. It says, hey, when you're taking an antiderivative, you agree an integral and a derivative cancel out. I'm left with just that function. But C is just saying we got to remember that you could add any constant. You could add any constant, and it's still going to be the correct antiderivative. Let me give you an example of what the heck I'm talking about. Antiderivative of 4x cubed could be written as that integral of 4x cubed. Anyone have any ideas what that would be? Whose derivative is 4x cubed?
X to the 4th.
Okay, let's think about this. If she said it's x to the 4th, is this derivative 4x cubed? Yeah, but what did she forget? Plus some c, because isn't the derivative of x to the 4th 4x cubed, and the derivative of a constant is 0? So we have to remember this plus c. Are we going to forget it? Yeah. How many people struggled, like, how do they go from there to there? Ugh. If we're struggling with that, this is the definition. This looks way harder than what it actually is. What did it do? What does it do to that exponent? What's it telling you to do to that exponent? Add 1. If we added 1 to this exponent, what would that become? 4. There's that 4. Then what does it want you to divide by? The exponent, the new exponent. So if I took this guy, 4x cubed, and I integrate that guy, 4x cubed, and I integrate it, and I would have said, oh, I'm going to add 1 to my exponent and divide by that new exponent. D main, doesn't that cross out, and I'm just left with what Sadie gave me. So you guys, what you're going to hear me say a lot is add 1 to the exponent and divide by my new exponent. That's how we're going to find that integral or that antiderivative without having to work too hard. Does that sound good? Okay, so antiderivative of 3x squared would become 3x to the, add 1 to the exponent, third, divide by that new exponent, 3. Anything cancel. So I'd be left with x cubed. Don't forget your plus c. Okay, we're going to come back to it. Whose derivative, okay. Can I use this with this function? No, I can't use this rule here because we know integral rules. We know sine doesn't follow the exponent, the power rule. Whose derivative is sine? Negative cosine of t in this case plus c. Don't forget that plus a constant. Let me remind you why we have that constant. Is the derivative of negative cosine sine? Is the derivative of a constant 0? Yeah. I'm skipping this one on purpose. Whose derivative is cosine? Yes. Okay. Now, can this follow this rule? Yeah, this is undoing the power rule, you guys. Add 1 to that exponent. So I'd say minus 5x to the, add 1 to the exponent. 5. Divide by my new exponent. Does anything cancel? Good. You guys, my final answer would be sine of x minus x to the 5th plus. Good, you guys. Now, can you jump from this to that? Yeah. You don't have to show me this step. In the beginning, you might need to just for your own sake. How about over here?
Is
Yeah.
it ever not going to cancel?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep, got you right here. Add 1 to that exponent over here. Divide by that new exponent. Right? How would I simplify that? Anything with a negative exponent, I would move where? Yeah, right. This one is already up, so I'm going to move it down, says JC. So I have an X down there. JC, I'm not even going to write to the first, but it's really to the positive one. What would I do with this? It's just, I mean, I could put a negative down here. Is this the same as this? Is it the same as that? All 3 of those are equivalent, you guys, so I'll take any of them. You're going to find me writing it this way the most. Because that's how I say it out loud. Negative 1 over x. That's how I'd say it out loud, so that's how I'm going to write it. Okay, D, let's see one that definitely doesn't cancel. Ready? Next guy. T to the what over what? T to the 3rd over, yeah, nothing canceled out. Could I rewrite that as 1/3 t cubed? Yeah, I could. Minus. Now, this guy, you cannot move things. This is like power rule until you just have it written as something to a power, not 1 divided by, because we would have to be undoing chain rule. How can I rewrite this original piece of information? Yes, t to the negative 4th is the original. Now we need to go add 1 to my exponent. T to the negative 3rd over, close, over the new exponent. Yes, sir. Do you agree, Danny, that this negative, this minus sign just came down from there? Okay, let's simplify. Where is this guy moving? Down. So you're saying I've got, excuse me. Ooh, what's going to happen with my minus this negative?
Wait, did we forget C on number 5?
Oh, shoot. We did. When you say we, I mean I. Very good, Sadie. Thank you. You guys, if I've got minus this negative, isn't that going to be a plus here? Does this 3 stay down there? Yeah, he's got an exponent just a 1 right now, so he's just chilling. So what would I put on top? Yeah, 1 over 3t cubed. Whew, we're getting some algebra going on here. Let's just say one more time what I did. Brought this t cubed to the bottom, changed my exponent to be positive. That 3 was just chilling. Minus that negative made it positive. Sadie reminded me, don't forget your constant. We're going to do 8, and I'm going to bebop on down. Yep. Okay, let's do 8. Yeah. On 8, add 1 to that exponent. 3x to the 5th over. Yeah, does anything cancel out there? It doesn't, and that's okay. Minus 2 is chilling. X to the, add 1 to that exponent. Negative 2, divide by that new exponent. Negative 2, will things cancel? They will. I'm just going to keep going and then we'll cancel at the end. Whose derivative is secant squared? Blast from the past. Yeah, plus C. If we were to rewrite this, nice and simplified, you could totally rewrite this as 3x to the 5th over 5. Miss Meister writes this as 3/5 x to the 5th. These are the same. We've got to change this guy. Are my negative 2's going to cancel? Yeah, how could I rewrite that? 1 over x to the, very good. This, and Finn, AP might write their multiple choice like this, but they also might have left that as an x to the negative 2nd right there. Yeah, they might do one of the two. Ooh, we literally haven't talked about these since like October. Whose derivative is this? Anyone have any idea which one this one matches with?
Inverse tangent.
Inverse tangent. It's my favorite one because there's no negatives or square roots. Whoa. Inverse tangent of x plus c. This is meant to be, haven't seen this in a while. Let's remind ourselves. It's meant to be that. Let's go check 7 now. 7, whose derivative has that 1 over the square root? Still positive. You remember both the c's were the negatives, inverse cosine, inverse cotangent. You agree it's going to be inverse sine? Will we have to get these memorized again in our mind? We will. Eventually, we'll get there. So now let's put it all together, folks. Let's put it all together. Ooh! Whose derivative is 2e to the x? Bless you. Close. Don't overthink it. What do we love about e?
2x.
Yeah, careful, what?
2e.
Yeah! The derivative of 2e to the x is 2e to the x, and same with the antiderivative, which is what we love. Whose derivative is secant tangent? Thanks so much, Nat. Good old secant. Good old secant. Derivative of secant is secant tangent. We haven't seen this in a while. You guys, this is tough. How are we going to take the integral of root x? How would I rewrite that as a power? X to the 1/2. I haven't done any calculus. I just rewrote that. Add 1 to my exponent. So I'm going to say minus, I'm going to say x to the what? Add 1 to that exponent. 3/2. What is dividing by that exponent of 3/2 the same as? Multiplying by 2/3. So I would put that right in front. You're like, what are you talking about? Let's think about this. Is this derivative going to get me what I started with? Is the derivative of 2e to the x 2e to the x? Is the derivative of secant tangent? Yeah?
Let's say
Oh, yeah. What about here? Is this derivative going to get me what I started with? What happens when I multiply 3/2 times 2/3? 3/2 times 2/3? It's just 1. 1 x2 that take 1 away from my exponent, would I get what I started with? 1x to the 1/2. I want to go to the next. I'm going to you to skip that integrating rules. We'll do that on block day. Let's go do this 1973 question and call it a day. Antiderivative of x cubed would become x to the blank over blank. Yes, x to the 4th over 4. We add 1 to our exponent, divide by our new exponent. Minus 3x to that, add 1 to the exponent. 2 over the new exponent. Is that an answer?
No, you need plus c.
Sure do. Which answer is going to give me my plus c? Very good.